about change. You went from scuba diving to directing globally nominated films like Finding Fanny, Being
Globally
Cyrus,
nominated.
Cocktail.
I don't know if they were globally nominated.
They were
but,
globally nominated.
uh,
People across the world have heard of these films. So, can you walk us through how filmmaking first entered your life? Not just the highlight reel, but the messy beginning too.
yeah, so there was no messy beginning.
Okay.
It was quite clean cut. I pretty much got an article from a friend of mine who had written this semi fictitious article. Let's call it fictitious. And I read it and I said he had written for a magazine. There was too much profanity in it. So the magazine didn't want it. And he said, hey, have a look at this because even I used to write, he used to write. And I read it and I just got up and said, okay, I'm making this into my first film.
Wow.
And everyone just said, okay, but you don't know how to make a film. And but somewhere I think Kanaida, who was sure that I would make it. I mean, the people around me just said, okay, this guy will do it. How, we don't know, but he's going to do it. And what was bizarre is no one asked me if I'd made a film before.
Really?
No one asked me. Not the actors, not the producer. And for some reason, I think everyone thought I was an ad filmmaker, which I wasn't. I was a scuba diving instructor,
Yeah.
as you know. So, but no one asked. And I knew that I knew the film I wanted to make. It was in my head. So I just said that, okay, if I don't know how to do it, I just need to hire technicians who can put what's in my head onto the screen.
In reality, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I needed to do. And I realized in the first outing that it's about communication. It's about using optimizing other people's talents.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, letting them be the best version of themselves and taking it all up, because finally it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
And I also realized it's a lot of people management rather than directing actors on how to perform and all that, which is
really?
not what it's about. So yeah, and then Being Cyrus, it took off. I mean,
yeah.
It became quite a little cult film, and it became quite a. I mean, I didn't expect any of it, and then we were going around the festival circuits, carrying our little film like students, showing it everywhere. It was invited to various places, and it did quite well.
It did really well.
It did quite well, and it's pretty remembered still.
It is definitely one of the.
When I look at it, it's definitely like a small little student film in my mind.
Because it was a start.
It was.
And I think you were very young then. But I remember when we spoke, you also mentioned that you only wanted to make one film in the beginning.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I never saw myself as a filmmaker per se. I never saw myself as anything, frankly. I didn't even see myself as a diving instructor. I saw myself as... I never have looked at my life like that. So I didn't look at filmmaking as a career. It wasn't that I had worked my way up within a system to become a director. I pretty much literally came in and said, okay, I'm going to make a movie, and I made it.
Wow.
And I was very lucky to have done it that way. I think I was also very fearless because I had nothing to lose. I didn't want to be a filmmaker. I didn't say I'm doing this because I want to be a filmmaker. I actually wanted to tell a story. And I thought, wow, it's another medium, like articles and all that. It's another medium. And I realized I had quite a strong sense of visual.
Yes.
I knew how visuals are strung together to tell a story. And using that, it sort of worked out. And then I went back to diving because I said, okay, I'm done. I just wanted to know what the Shusha was about, and I figured it out, and it was fun. And now let's go back and dive a little more. And so I was at Bangaram Island, in fact, doing my instructor's license with these South African instructors.
South Africa.
And then I got a call from the producer here saying, we need you to make another movie because you know how to make a movie. So I said, I was open to it.
And so you did?
And then I did it. And then that's how Cocktail happened. And
wow, okay.
So then I realized, okay, there's way more bread and butter in making movies than being a diving instructor.
Yeah.
And I also realized my passion used to be I used to love teaching people, but my passion genuinely was diving, not the teaching part of it. I enjoyed the teaching part of it.
You love diving.
I loved diving, and I used to wait sometimes for students to leave so that just us instructors could go dive and do some deep dives, and or some places that had never been dived, we could explore them.
I think that's actually beautiful. Like, you touched upon it, but you said that after Being Cyrus succeeded, you went back to diving instead of chasing momentum in films. What do you think diving gave you that cinema didn't, or vice versa?
I don't think I was trying to fill a void. If I was, then I could tell you that, oh, I fill a void in filmmaking with the diving, but it wasn't that. I just I didn't care for structure much. So it wasn't that I wanted to suddenly make a career out of this.
Okay.
I just wanted to go back diving. There was still so much diving to be done. But when I realized I really enjoyed the film process.
Yeah.
So I realized if I can do this as a, if I can do this as a, as a career or as a money making thing.
Yeah.
And it's a money making passion, because I mean, I was still passionate about making the films.
Yeah.
If I could do that and then use that money to dive anywhere in the world rather than be stuck at one scuba school,
yeah,
I'd rather do that. And that's when I made the switch and said, okay, I'm going to start making films now.
That's beautiful. So, has diving ever influenced you during directing a film?
Yeah, I would think so, because not in that sense, but you know what I feel, when you learn how to teach, when I learned how to instruct, they also taught me how to sort of be in situations, where you have to take charge. I mean, frankly, when you take new students down, or when you're diving as the most experienced diver in a group, you are responsible for their lives.
Yes.
So that does definitely give you a sense of responsibility. It gives you a sense of, I mean, it makes you extremely strong, confident. You preempt certain situations. You don't let things fall apart and then figure out how to put it together.
Understand.
You always have a plan B, plan C, plan D, all in your head somewhere stored at the back, in case there's an emergency. So I think in that sense, it definitely helped me. It definitely helps you doing that. I don't know if diving per se made me do that, but I definitely learned through experiences I had in adventure sports, and quite a few of them in diving, of not to panic ever. I don't have that ability in me. I don't speculate about things that have not happened. I'm not someone who I just find it a waste of time. So with filmmaking also, it's very easy to start speculating about what can go wrong, or is this person thinking this way, is that person thinking that way, and all these things are absolutely irrelevant to the process or the outcome. Absolutely. So I think it definitely helped me do that. It helps you stay pretty clear cut of what your vision is. What is your focus?
So when you started off with Being Cyrus or Finding Fanny, and some people didn't take your writing seriously, something many listeners relate to, what made you keep going anyway?
I'm still asking you, what writing?
Okay, writing, like...
When you say writing, what do you mean?
I mean, like, if you're trying to give them, or like direct them to do an action, or trying to help edit a script, and people didn't take it seriously, what made you keep going anyway, despite the fact that they thought otherwise?
They never didn't take it seriously.
So now let's zoom out a bit and let's talk about how you looked at Lakshadweep through years of experience. You've really watched the ocean completely change. I mean, you've seen reefs before bleaching and after, but you've also witnessed recovery, algae cycles, parrotfish, slow regeneration. How do you explain the continued effects of ocean acidification and coral bleaching, which happened right in front of your eyes, to someone who may have never seen a healthy reef before?
Oh God, it's heartbreaking. I remember the first time I went to Lakshadweep, was before the bleaching had happened. Bleaching had happened in history, but we had never seen it, and I just started. I mean, it was nothing was bleached, so everything had color, every single thing had
Wow.
color. And honestly, I remember diving on the east side of this island called Kadmat, and I remember that impression of that dive was so. I mean, it's still so vivid in my head because it was like mountains and valleys of color. And when I'm
Wow.
saying color, it was like it was psychedelic. There were purples and oranges and reds and
That's
greens and blues,
beautiful.
and
That's
it
like,
was just insane. It was
wow.
too. I couldn't believe that it existed. And for me, apart from that, then there were the textures, the shapes,
Mm.
the designs, and the patterns. And I'm just like, it was like I don't know, like some divine creativity, or like it was like someone had tripped on acid and made this mad Disney
Beautiful.
world
Yeah.
underwater, which was all natural. I mean, all I don't know. It was just so incredible. And then we came back the next year, and it was like a graveyard. It
Wow.
had just all died, and it all died because of a fluctuation of 2 degrees in the water. But that was not. I mean, there was a lot of. See, everyone talks about this bleaching being a human sort of because of
Yeah, it's a
human
human influence.
influences, but the fact is bleaching has happened forever.
Yeah.
The fact is that but what's happened is it's a cyclical thing. So bleaching, regeneration, then again you have El Nino, El Nina, you've got bleaching, regeneration. But what's happened because of human influences, that cycle, this the regeneration time has become less and less and
Yeah.
less.
The
That is what
frequency
we've
period
caused,
has
and therefore
decreased.
that is where our intervention has created the imbalance.
Hmm.
And that is what's scary, because if you don't have regeneration, then finally it won't come back.
Then it won't come back, and then the corals will remain bleached. And you also mentioned that you worked with Reef Watch to monitor naval excavation projects. You worked with Sea Shepherd or
No, I
Greenpeace.
worked with I remember going with Greenpeace with a very, very close friend of mine who's a
Yeah.
phenomenal scuba diving instructor,
So you
and
went
with Sumer
Greenpeace.
Verma, who was hired by Greenpeace to do
Oh wow.
to take photographs of olive ridley turtles
Yeah.
off Orissa. So I just went along with him as the safety diver.
Wow. So you had to document olive ridley total activity when the mating grounds were
Yeah, and my
disappearing.
God, what incredible photographs he got in the middle of that milky sea, which I didn't had no visibility. It was turbulent. It was
Wow.
quite mad. The Bay of Bengal, and
Yeah.
I mean north of it, and but he was. I mean, he's just an incredible diver
Mm.
and very talented photographer.
Mm.
And yeah, so we stayed there on a boat, on a fishing boat, which very stupidly we had painted white before the expedition, or Greenpeace had. So it looked like a Coast Guard boat, which the fishermen don't like at all.
Oh yeah.
And in fact, I remember we reaching there, and they told me, "Oh, just a week ago, one uh, Coast Guard boat was shot at."
Oh my god.
And we are like, "Oh, great!" And now we are going on
And a
one
white
which
boat.
looks like it. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience because I think there were 6 of us on that boat for about, I can't remember, 6, 7, 8 days
Wow.
on the ocean, and none of them spoke in. I mean, only Sumer and I spoke
Mm.
in a language, the rest didn't.
But you've also spoken about a night time where you nearly synced at around 3 a.m.
Yeah,
What goes through your mind in moments like this when nature reminds you how small you really are?
I think I'm quite very well aware of how small we are in front of nature.
Mm.
I do a lot of adventure sports, uh, and I have been in situations in the ocean where it really reminds you of how you're absolutely nothing.
Mm.
And it's very humbling, and it's very awe-inspiring. I remember once trying to sail out of Lakshadweep for 4 days. I was trying to get back to Bombay
Mm.
at that time, and no boats were willing to get to the island where you could take a flight from. And I remember I had one fisherman who had agreed to go, but the weather was really bad. And
Oh.
I remember we finally, on the third day, after we tried leaving 3 times, the twice, and then the third time we decided to sail out into open ocean, and
Really?
I have never felt so small. Means we were, I mean, the boat was like a little matchbox.
Compared to the vast sea.
The waves were like, they weren't even waves, they were just peaks and troughs going
Wow.
up 12, 15 feet and then dropping again
15
12.
feet.
And your boat is just going boom, and boom, boom, boom. And you're just like, you're nothing.
I think that's a very humbling experience.
It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. You learn uh, how to, I think, respect nature much more.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm not someone who's extremely superstitious or uh, any of that shit, but I definitely feel that it's extremely important to respect the mountains, respect the ocean, especially when you're playing around in it, and you need it to take care of you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay, and moving on to your career in films. What stands out most to me about what isn't just what you've done, but
Mhm.
how you've chosen to live. And there's a pattern I've noticed whenever we've spoken. It's that whenever you feel uncomfortable or unprepared in something, like with Cocktail and not understanding the Bollywood dance angle, you didn't avoid it. Instead, you did the opposite and immersed yourself to it fully. Why do you think discomfort pushes you forward instead of holding you back?
Because I think it's important to uh, break the monotony of familiarity.
Hmm.
It's, I mean, that's what the fun is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the idea is we all, I don't know if we all do, but for me, I definitely, the reason we do adventure sports, the reason we seek the edge just to see if you're going to fall off it or not.
Yeah.
And you're always treading on it to just play that little balancing act, because I feel that's what makes me feel alive. I mean, it makes you
Yeah.
feel uh,
The thrill,
that
right?
it's not even just, it's not like a, it's not a, it's not like you're chasing a high or something. You're just,
Yeah.
it makes you realize that there's much more to it,
Hmm.
than just sitting on a couch and I don't know, vicariously scrolling through other people's
Lives on social media.
or whatever adventures. I mean, the idea is
Yeah.
go out there and check it out for yourself, and it just makes you. So for me, being able to do something I know how to do is not as exciting as trying to do something I have no clue how to do,
Ah.
and
So,
not knowing where I'm going to land, but knowing I'm going to give it my best shot, and then seeing where it takes me.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
I think that's the way to
yeah.
do everything. Nah?
That's a great mentality. And so, if a 16, 15-year-old listening today feels lost, uncertain, or behind, what would you want them to remember?
Oh God! Firstly, we are 16. My God, I was thinking when I was 16, I was quite badly behaved, and I definitely had experienced much more than a 16-year-old does today. But no, I would think firstly that if you're 16, you shouldn't be stressing about anything, because honestly,
Really?
you're just opening the first chapter of a very long story.
You know, I'm 16, right?
Exactly. So then but you know what you're doing, na?
Okay, yeah.
Vaguely, sort of. At least you're
Vaguely.
having fun doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's all that it
absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think it's definitely not an age to figure out to be knowing what you want to do. I mean, there's no way you should know what you want to do at 16. There's so much on offer. Why on earth should you put yourself in a box and figure out this is what I want to do?
What about people who've already put themselves in a box or are like forced to be in that environment?
Uh, Forced means now you have to elaborate on that. What do you mean forced? Like traditional parents who say
I
you have to
mean,
do this? Or
for like, say, an
what does
average
that mean?
Indian child, you have
Yeah,
a traditional sense that you want to be doctor, engineer, or lawyer, right?
I think then they should just show their parents a bit of AI and half the jobs will be redundant
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So no, but the fact is, no, but then still find a passion. I mean, I have a lot of friends who see it's not easy. We are quite privileged in with the fact that we are sitting here and saying, "Oh, we followed our passions."
Mm,
Everyone doesn't have
yeah,
that privilege,
that's true.
and we should be very well aware of that. But the fact is that then, like I said, then do like I started earning money so I could dive elsewhere and realize
Mm,
it's a better option. So in that sense, you can then definitely have your passions and use. Then you work towards an end. It's a means to achieving your
understood.
passions. So
Yeah.
you do it that way. I mean, back to your 16-year-olds, I guess it's tough. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I wouldn't have. I would have been quite a rebel if someone told me you have to do it this way and you have no choice. But I guess then they have to at least reach a certain point. Then you have free will at 16. Yeah, you should be allowed to do what the hell you want to do as long as as long as you're someone who see what's scary for a parent. I can understand is when you if you realize your kid is putting in all the effort possible and doing what they're passionate about, I don't think you should pull them away from that. Then it'll work out. They land up. They will land on their own 2 feet. They will figure it out when their backs against the wall because they're capable of putting in that effort. It's when they aren't doing that and they just want to do what they want to do and all. That's a load of bullshit for me. I don't buy that. You have to. So if you can see that quality in a kid, you have to let a kid be.
Yeah,
but they'll find their space.
So one of the things that infringe that sense of identity for children is validation, right? And you've never chased validation. That's what we spoke about earlier. So where does that confidence and self-belief come from? And how do you cultivate that for young kids as well?
I mean, I feel you have to give your kid a sense of confidence by seeing what they're good at. See, everyone can't be good at the same thing.
Yeah.
And there is no yardstick. It's sadly in our educational system, we have this very stupid system. Firstly, it's quite archaic if you ask me, of how kids are put into this thing of either you're right or you're wrong.
That's true.
That just kills creativity. The fact that you're telling me I'm wrong. I mean, what do you mean I'm wrong? I mean, unless you're talking about an absolute science like math or something. And it tries to clone kids. Everyone has to be either right or wrong.
Correct. Yeah.
Everyone has to have short hair. Everyone has to have this. That you're not allowing yourself, people to express themselves creatively. I feel is quite that's what they do. But then finally, it's quite a double-edged sword because I don't know how you can control so many people.
Yeah, that's true.
As well. So.
But I think that sense of freedom is required. Like I think in a space like BIS as well.
I think BIS gives it. BIS respects
for
that
sure.
For sure. I mean, I've pretty much seen that. They definitely respect the fact of letting a child be a child, of not putting people in boxes.
Yeah.
And then you have the other side, which is that is it just too accepting and too soft, so when you step out into the real world, you get run over.
That's true.
So that's the other side of it. So then you're like, okay, now which side do you want to So it's a tricky one. Yeah, it's not that easy. It's not that there's a solution for all of it. But I think for a 16-year-old who's not sure, they definitely have to firstly realize that external validation is absolute garbage. It really is, because honestly, only you know your own story.
Yeah.
I mean, only I know my own truth. Even my wife, my kids, my mom, my friends don't know. They have their own narratives of my truth. But only you will know your own truth.
That's wow.
So on what basis are you telling me that I should live my life, or your validation it's not important. Yeah? As long as your core values are good, you're not harming people, your basic general shit is good.
Yeah.
That's all you need, and then live with passion, and you'll find what you're here for.
Okay, that's it, guys. Life advice.
There you go. My God, what? It's Gyan 101.
No, but genuinely, that's super helpful. And let's say that when we go back to when you were a diver, and you've also trained children, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's additional responsibility. And what responsibility comes with shaping how someone first learns to interact with the ocean?
Respect. I think respect for nature is very important. That's what they learn. They learn that they can't. I mean, they may learn it in a immature, brash way also.
Yeah.
But they learn that they can't dick around with nature.
Yeah.
And then through that, they learn that, wow, so I have to have respect for this.
Nature, yeah.
And I think it's damn important to respect nature. And I just feel that, sadly, I don't think we're doing that. So we're going to be paying the price for it. Sadly, your generation, mine is over. Yeah.
Okay. So, for the last fun question, what are your goals for 2026 in terms of diving and films?
I have no goals. That's why I say my goalpost keeps changing. So, I don't know. I don't make hectic plans of what I mean, I do know that I'm going to be going diving in 3 times this year, if
Wow.
that's what you're asking me. And I am going to dive in some unknown places as well with some friends, which we'll keep unknown. And then we've got the other side, which is on the film front. I'll finish a film now, which I released, which is Cocktail 2, which will come
Wow.
out this year. And then after that, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I'll keep making films as long as I can. So it's not like there's an outdate for either. As long as I can keep snowboarding, I'll snowboard. As long as I can keep diving, I'll dive. Make films, I will make films. If I can't, I'll find something else to do. There's no hard and fast rules, but I'll just keep doing something, I guess.
Okay, so we do get to see you in theaters this year. And once Cocktail 2 hits the box office successfully, what does your diving wish list look like for 2026? Or 2027 in the future?
I want to do Bora Bora for sure.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I want to do Bora Bora. I want to do some parts of Indonesia. That's about it. I've got a couple of friends, so we want to just definitely explore some of the unknown parts of the Maldives and a little further there. And that's it. I've been wanting to freedive with whales for a while. So
wow. Freedive with whales.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrifying though?
No way.
It's freediving, you don't have a cylinder.
Yeah, but then no one's asking you to breathe underwater. You don't have to take a breath in. You hold your breath and go to
the exactly, that's the problem.
No, so you go where you can go to. Yeah, you do freediving courses and you pretty much learn that and you're used to that. In fact, I did my first freediving course last year.
Really?
Yeah, at the ripe age of 52.
52?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the ripe age of 52, I decided to do a freediving course in down the coast of Maharashtra.
Wow.
With Vengurla divers. It was quite interesting. I suddenly felt like being a student again.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, okay. To wrap up, it's time for a segment I like to call Truth Tide. It's basically when we wade
through... What's it called?
Truth Tide.
Okay.
So it's basically when we wade through different ocean myths, separating fact from fiction. Okay. And you can tell me if it's true, false, or somewhere in between.
Okay.
First one is that environmental damage is already irreversible.
Not true. False. I think it's reversible as long as we are removed from the picture. Which would be lovely.
Which will never happen.
No, why? We've hardly lived a little blip of time in in the history of the earth. I think our expiration date will come soon and we can just bounce as a species.
Okay, this is something we spoke about. The next generation doesn't care enough.
True. I think that too. I think the new generation. I mean, I'm saying it out of this. I mean, I think our generation also didn't care enough. Frankly, that's why we're in this situation to begin with. So it's not that anyone can be absolved of this, but sadly, the new generation has got desensitized because of social media. I think. I feel that to a large degree, if you look at a kid who's scrolling through and looking at war and destruction and damage and blah 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 blah, the fact is that they're desensitized. I mean, they're desensitized to it. It's not that they're getting up and saying, "Shit, we have to do something about this." They're getting such an overload of information that you're just like, "Okay, so Great Barrier Reef is bleached again. Moving on. Let's go to Indonesia. Let's, it's not that you're in the field actually seeing this and it's bothering you. You're just getting all your stimulus from just this. So, how many people are really out there and really living it and figuring out what it's about?" So, what was your question? It was supposed to be a short answer, but I got quite impassioned about it.
No, I agree with you. The next generation doesn't care enough, which is caused by
there's a lack of empathy. I think there's a lack of empathy.
Okay.
Because they have too much information.
Okay, next. Nature will fix itself if we just leave it alone.
100%. But when you say leave it alone, that means we should not exist.
Yeah.
And it'll 100% fix itself. But during COVID, it fixed itself.
Yeah, and that was 2 years.
I mean, unbelievable. So it has the ability to, when you actually see a little leaf or a little sapling growing out of a block of cement, because it's just found that much moisture and that much of an ingredient, you realize how resilient nature is.
Yeah.
You make a concrete jungle also, it'll just still fight and try and find its place. So you stop and nature will bounce back.
And do you think there's any solution in between, like an equilibrium between humans and nature?
Of course, there is an equilibrium, but is it a reality that we'll find this equilibrium? judging by how the world is going right now, at this very moment as we speak, it seems like a far cry away, because the only thing I can see is a huge wave of destruction coming in with the way we are commercializing and destroying our resources.
Absolutely.
And absolutely going hammer and tongs to the last bit of fossil fuels. And I mean, it's quite a bleak future. I'm really sorry.
I know, I agree.
So I ain't gonna be around to see that. You guys can watch it on social media while you scroll.
Oh my god.
No, that sounds very bleak. No, actually, there's some beautiful parts left.
I think there is some sort of solution that we could create. It would require a lot of
an
research.
AI enhanced
product environment. Yeah.
But no, yeah. I mean, I wish we could end on a way more positive note, but it is a tough one.
So, to our listeners, if there's a myth or assumption you'd like busted in a future episode, you can drop it in the comments and we might just feature it next.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this conversation and for showing us that meaningful life doesn't always follow a straight path. All the best for your upcoming movie and for all future dives.
Thank you.
I'm super grateful for your time and insightful advice.
Thank you so much.
Before we close, I love to end every Blue Bloom episode with one signature question.
Okay.
If the ocean had a voice, what do you think it would ask of us? Leave
me alone.
That's it?
No, I think if the ocean had a voice, what would it ask of us? Yeah, I would say probably leave me alone. It would probably say, listen, you guys evolved and I made sure you all left me. Why are you all coming back?
Okay.
Or sending your trash back.
Okay.
And I think we should really try to preserve it and make people aware of why we should preserve it.
So thank you.
On that note.
Thank you. So thank you to our listeners. If this episode stirred something in you, curiosity, restlessness, or courage, don't ignore it. That's where change usually begins. This was Tisha and this is Blue Bloom, a podcast where the ocean finds its voice. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.